Good evening and welcome to this new tutorial video. It is summer here in France and I wanted to make something a bit colorful. So tonight I will show you how to press flowers and how to use them to make DIY decorative objects. It is a very relaxing activity and you can do it with a child as well. So first let's have a look at what we will need, and as you will see it doesn't require a lot of tools. Tweezers, scissors, a couple of brushes, things you usually have around your home, thick paper or newspaper sheets, and a few pieces of cardboard, and of course something to press the flowers. So I have a few presses here. Two I bought and one I made myself using two wooden boards and a few screws. It cost me about €5. And if you don't have, or if you don't want to make a press, you can simply use a heavy book like The Lord of the Rings or Middlemarch. But I really like the look of a handcrafted press. These are such beautiful items. So this one is full of flowers I put in about 2 weeks ago. Quite large and so beautiful. We can read Herbium, and this one is empty right now. We are going to use it in a moment. And when buying it, there was an option for a custom phrase or name on it, and I chose the very first lines of one of my favorite poems, The Lady of Shalott by Alfred Tennyson. On either side the river lie, long fields of barley and of rye, that close the world and meet the sky. So now I call it the Shalott Press. And of course we are going to need fresh flowers. So these come from my garden and my neighbor's garden. Since we had a very unusual heat wave here, there are not as many as I hoped, but that should do. So let's have a look at what we have here, which ones are my favorites and which ones may be the best for pressing. So the best flowers to start with are usually the flat-faced flowers, such as hydrangea, if it can be found in your area. They are naturally quite flat and are so beautiful when dried. Very easy to put in a press or between 2 pages of a book. And these come in various colors like blue, pink, white, purple, and sometimes almost black. These are some of my favorites as well. Nigelus, also known as Love in a Mist. What a romantic name. Unfortunately, they are very, very, very small because, as I said, most of the flowers died, so I could only find tiny ones. What else? These are larger. Cosmos, very classic. Another classic one and easy to find is rose. So here I have rose petals. You can try the whole flower, but it's not an easy one, and I haven't tried it yet. What else? I tried to mostly pick flowers that are similar to those that are in the press here, so you can see the result. Geranium. And of course you can also press leaves. Herb Robert. I have fern and Perovskia as well. There it is. So this is Perovskia, also known as Russian sage, but in French we call it sauge d'Afghanistan, so Afghanistan sage. Right. So let's not wait too long because we need these to stay as fresh as possible. So I'm going to use this square press and I'm going to remove the wing nuts and the washers. Washers are optional, but if you have softwood like this, it will prevent the nut from damaging it. And here is an important point. Always have the screws already set in the lower part when you put the different layers of flowers, so you just have to put the upper part when you're finished. If you try to put the screws at the end, it might be difficult. So in the press we have cardboard and some kind of blotting paper, but if you don't have blotting paper, newspaper sheets will do. Same if you are using a book. This is plain cardboard. It doesn't have to be thick but rigid enough. So I have 3 layers here, but you can add as many as you'd like, as long as your screws are long enough. So let's start with the thinnest ones. Leaves. And always try to put flowers of similar thickness for each layer to ensure that each flower is pressed equally. Perovskia. Male fern. Alright, let's put the second sheet of paper and a piece of cardboard. And now we can do the second layer. So, sheet of paper, and I'm going to put the hydrangeas. So first, blue ones, and some pink. Right, now let's put geraniums with a very bright color. And rose petals. Very bright color as well. Alright, and this is our second layer. Alright. And let's take care of the last one. So let's use the tiny nigellas. So this one is a bit tricky because the heart of the flower is quite intricate and very thick. So what I'm going to do is to cut the center. Do it slowly, take your time, and try to keep the flower as beautiful as possible. There. And now it will be easier. So another thick one, cosmos. So I'm going to keep the flower only. And another one. And let's finish with a beautiful one, agapanthus, a bit thick as well, so it will be perfect for this third layer. Alright, perfect. And now it is time to press all of these little treasures. So I'm going to put back the upper part, the washers and the wing nuts. And if there are thick flowers, try to tighten the screws a bit more 1 or 2 days later, when the flowers have already started to dry and lost volume, so they will remain properly pressed. And now we are going to wait 2 to 3 weeks. Nothing more to do. Alright. And now we are going to have a look at the pressed flowers I made 20 days ago. This is exciting. Reveal time. So let's see. Alright, I put a fern on the top of the layers. As you can see, I don't know if you see it, there's a bit of powder because of the spores. This is male fern. And it dried beautifully. That's great. So let's see the first layer. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm going to put them on the paper here. So here we have rose petals, very delicate. And for the most fragile ones, you can use a small brush and gently remove it from the paper. Just like this. So you won't damage the flower. Right. So these are geraniums and hydrangeas. Alright. Let's put them on the paper. They all kept their color here, and that's great, but some may have lost their color. We will see, and it's okay, it happens. These turned out a bit paler, so second layer. Oh no. So this kind of thing can happen sometimes. This cosmos is not going to be easy to remove. Alright. It's very, very delicate. But it's so beautiful. This one is smaller. Let's use the brush. Perfect. I love it. Beautiful. And this is a maple leaf. Very easy to press. So the next layer with leaves. So these are cosmos leaves, and this is Perovskaya. Almost like lace. This is cute. When dried, it's very breakable, so be very gentle when you remove them from the paper. And finally, last layer. Oh wow. Oh, this is so beautiful. So these are nigellas. This is the normal size. This is so beautiful. I'm so happy with them. All right, that's great. And now with this, I'm going to make a bookmark, which is probably the easiest DIY to start with, because bookmarks are usually kept in books, so your flowers will stay in shape. For that, I will use cardboard paper that I've previously decorated. I'm going to use a brush like some kind of water-based napkin glue. I'm not sure this is the word in English. So you can make one at home as well with flour and water. I will leave the recipe in the description, but for this I wanted a brighter finish. Alright. So here I have linen paper, but it's a bit too thick. And 2 pieces of cardboard paper, one with cotton paper on it, and this one with cotton paper flakes. I like it, but my husband finds it weird, so I'm going to use this one. And be sure it's water resistant, or else it will warp when applying the glue. So now this is the funniest part. I'm going to arrange the flowers and leaves on the bookmark until I'm happy with the pattern. So let's start. Let's see. I don't know. I think just one nigella is nice. It's elegant. But I can add a bit of red to stand out. Let's try something else. This is nice as well. What else could we make? With a cosmos, maybe? Everything looks nice, so I will just have to decide. Maybe with leaves. And cosmos leaves. Alright, I think my favorite version is with the nigella only, and I will use the others for more bookmarks or maybe candles. This one is a bit smaller, so maybe better. Yes, I'm going to keep it simple. Alright. And now I'm going to glue the flower. And this is where you want to be gentle. You can use a small stick like this. Here we go. It is white right now, but it will dry clear. Right. I'm going to gently press with my finger. And then I will cut what's not on the bookmark. And I'm going to apply a final layer of glue on all the bookmark to secure the flowers. You can also laminate it if you want with a specific tool, and that will preserve the flowers much longer, but I don't have this kind of machine and I am not very fond of plastic. So here we go. Again, don't worry, it will dry clear. So now allow it to dry for a few minutes. And there it is. I'm quite happy with it. I will put it in the book I'm currently reading, which is a fairy tales book from the 17th century. You can apply this method on other items like postcards, candles. These are great gift ideas. And you can put pressed flowers on food as well, like cakes or biscuits, but just be sure you're using edible flowers and sugar instead of glue. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and as always, I wish you a very good